In this lesson, we're going to take a look at solving multi-step inequalities. And since this is just a combination of solving the one-step inequalities we have been with solving equations of multiple steps, we're just going to dive right in. Now remember, when we solve equations of multiple steps or inequalities, we simply follow our SAD-MAG order of operations. So let's dive in. Negative 3m plus 4 is less than 18. I'm going to begin, since I see addition, by subtracting 4 from each side. Get negative 3m is less than 14. Next, I'm going to divide by a negative 3. And since I'm dividing by a negative number, I'm going to change the direction of my inequality. Then 14 divided by negative 3 is a negative 4 2/3. So m is anything larger than 4 2/3. Making a graph of this, putting my negative 4 2/3, I will use an open circle, and I want items that are greater. So, as long as I pick a number larger than negative 4 2/3, it should work out. Let's take negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 3 is a negative 12. Negative 12, positive 12. Positive 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 is less than 18. Next, t divided by 4 minus 6 3/10 is greater than or equal to 8 5/10. I'm going to begin by adding 6 3/10 to each side. I have t divided by 4 is greater than or equal to 14 8/10. Next, I have division, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. And this gives me t being greater than or equal to 59 2/10. And again, graphing, make sure my 59 2/10 is in the center of my graph. Then I'm going to use a filled-in circle, and I'm moving to the right. Now, remember, when we are solving inequalities or equations, we start by simplifying the expression on each side. So in my next problem, I have to combine my like terms of 5p and 2p. This brings me to 7p minus 4 is greater than 80. Next, I will add 4, since I have subtraction happening. That gives me 7p is greater than 84. I will then divide by 7, telling me that p has to be greater than 12. So my graph, open circle, moving to the right. Our other thing to keep in mind, if we do have our variable showing up on both sides, we need to consolidate it. So I'm going to subtract 2r from each side here. That gives me 4r minus 4 is less than or equal to 7. Now, solving, since I have subtraction, I'm going to add 4. That gives me 4r is less than or equal to 11. Dividing both sides by 4, since I had multiplication, tells me r is less than or equal to 2 3/4. And I can certainly graph this, 2 3/4, and I'm going to use a closed circle, or filled-in circle, and I want less than, so I'm moving to the left. So you can see all the properties that we had before for solving inequalities or solving equations overlap here into this one. Let's take a look at a couple of others. So 5x minus 12 is less than or equal to 3x minus 4. Again, just to get that idea, we're going to subtract 3x from each side so that we can consolidate our variables all to one side. 2x minus 12 is less than or equal to a negative 4. Next, I add 12 to each side. And I get 2x is less than or equal to 8. Divide by 2. I have x is less than or equal to 4. So on my number line, make sure I have 4 on there. I'm going to use a filled in circle and moving to the left since we're less than. Next equation, or next inequality. I need to distribute. So again, we're seeing all the same properties. Once I distribute this 2 across the k minus 5, I will come out with 2k minus 10 has to be greater than 2k plus 5. Consolidating my variables to one side, I'm going to subtract 2k, leaving me with negative 10 is greater than 5. So now we have to take a look. We had this situation when we were solving equations, and if the numbers weren't the same, there was no solution. But here we have to look at the direction of the inequality. Is negative 10 greater than a positive 5, since I have no variables involved? And the answer here is no. No negative number will ever be greater than a positive number. So, in this case, we have no solution. And we just put that down and move on. Next, again, I need to distribute on the left and need to combine like terms on the right. So I get a negative 12n plus 4 has to be less than or equal to negative 12n plus 5 and 2/10. That puts all my simplification done. Next, I'm going to add 12n to both sides so that I have all my variables combined. I now have 4 is less than or equal to 5 and 2/10. And looking at this, the answer is yes, it is. Since I have no variable and I'm left with mathematical statements as true, this means all solutions, or infinitely many solutions, or all real numbers are a solution. So anything that I select for my variable n, when I substitute it in, will always make this inequality true. So we have special cases when we're solving equations. We now see special cases when we're solving inequalities. No solution simply says that we have no variables and our statement is not true. All solutions are all real numbers. We have no variables remaining, and we have a sentence that is true. Let's take a look at an application for this type of. You have $47 with which to buy tickets to a show for a friend's birthday. There will be 4 people attending, and the place you buy tickets from has a one-time service charge of $6. What's the range of ticket prices that you can buy for everyone? So first we need to write our inequality. So I have $47. That means if I'm going to spend money, that is the most that I can spend. There is a one-time service charge of $6, so that's going to be added on to however much I spend, and there will be 4 people to buy tickets. So 4 tickets plus the $6 equals $47, or is less than or equal to $47. Now, if I go through and solve this, it will help me to see how much those tickets can be. So since I have addition, I'm going to subtract 6 from each side. That tells me that 4t has to be less than or equal to $41. Next, I'm going to divide both sides by 4, leaving me with t having to be less than or equal to 10.25. So each ticket to the show has to be $10.25 or less in order for me to be able to buy 4 tickets and everyone attend with the given situation. So we can use our inequalities, we can solve down, we can follow the same steps we had for equations, just keeping in mind those couple little differences that come up with inequalities.